Shalom, shalom. Today will be Jeremiah 6 through 10. For those of you who have tracked along or who saw the last video, I found where the reference for this, the dots to connect. Anyway, Deuteronomy 11:14 is that. Chapter 6. O children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem. Blow a shofar in Tekoa, and set up a signal fire in Beth Hakerem, for evil has been seen from the north and great destruction. I shall cut off the lovely and delicate one, the daughter of Sion. The shepherds with their flocks shall come to her. They shall pitch their tents against her all around. They shall pasture each one in his own place. Set apart battle against her. Arise, and let us go up at noon. Woe to us, for the day goes away, for the shadows of the evening are lengthening. Arise, and let us go by night, and let us destroy her palaces. For thus said Yahweh of hosts, cut down her trees, and cast up a siege mound against Jerusalem. She is the city to be punished, in whose midst there is only oppression. As a well flows with water, so she flows with her evil. Violence and destruction are heard in her. Before me continually are suffering and smiting. Be instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my being be torn from you, lest I make you a waste and not a land not inhabited. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, let them thoroughly glean as a vine, the remnant of Israel. Pass your hand again over the branches like a grape gatherer. To whom shall I speak and give warning so that they hear? See, their ear is uncircumcised, and they are unable to listen. See, the word of Yahweh is a reproach to them. They do not delight in it. Therefore, I am filled with the wrath of Yahweh. I have become weary of containing it. Pour it out on the children outside, and on the company of young men together. For even husband and wife shall be taken, the aged and the very old. And their houses shall be turned over to others, fields and wives together. For I shall stretch out my hand against the inhabitants of the land, declares Yahweh. For from the least of them, even to the greatest of them, they are all greedy for gain, and from the prophet even to the priest, all act falsely. And they heal the breach of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. I would assume that peace is shalom, shalom. And that would be when you say shalom, right? That's to somebody, that's peace to you, basically. When you say shalom, shalom, it's like, may God's perfect peace be upon you. Were they ashamed when they had done abomination? No, they were not all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. Therefore they shall fall among those who fall. They shall stumble at the time I visit them, said Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for yourselves. But they said, we do not walk in it. They were not all ashamed. They were not at all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. They didn't know how to blush because nobody was teaching them. Because nobody was doing the Torah, basically. Anyway, draw your parallels where you want to. And I raised up watchmen over you, and said, listen to a voice of a shofar. But they said, we do not listen. Therefore hear, you nations, and know, O congregation, I am bringing evil. Hear, O earth, see, I am bringing evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not listened to my words, nor my Torah, and they rejected it. What need have I of frankincense from Sheba and sweet cane from a distant land? Your sinning offerings are not acceptable, and your slaughterings have not been sweet to me. Therefore thus said Yahuwah, See, I am laying stumbling blocks before the people, and the fathers and the sons together shall stumble on them. The neighbor and his friend shall perish. Thus said Yahuwah, See, a people shall come from the land of the north, from a great nation, a people shall come from the land of the north, and a great nation is stirred up from the farthest parts of the earth. They strengthen their bow and spear, they are cruel and have no compassion. Their voice roars like the sea, and they ride on horses, set in array as a man for battle against you, O daughter of Sion. We have heard the reports of it. Our hands grow weak. Distress has taken hold of us, pain as of a woman in labor. Do not go out into the field, nor walk by the way, because the sword of the enemy, fear, is on every side. O daughter of my people, gird on sackcloth, and roll about in ashes. Make mourning as for an only son, most bitter lamentation, because suddenly the Ravener shall come upon us. I have made you a trier and a stronghold among my people, so that you know and shall try their way. All of them are rebels of rebels, walking as slanderers. They are bronze and iron. All of them are corrupters. The bellows have burned. The lead has been consumed by fire. The refiner has refined in vain, for those who are evil have not been separated. They shall call them rejected silver, because Yahuwah has rejected them. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, Stand in the gate of the house of Yahuwah, and you shall proclaim there words today. Oof. And you shall proclaim there this word, and shall say, Hear the word of Yahuwah, all you of Judah who enter in at these gates to bow before Yahuwah. Thus said Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Make your ways and your deeds good, then I let you dwell in this place. Do not trust in these false words, saying, This is the Hakal of Yahuwah, the Hakal of Yahuwah, the Hakal of Yahuwah. Man, that is, say that like 7 times fast. For if you truly make your ways and your deeds good, if you truly do right ruling between a man and his neighbor, if you do not oppress the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, and do not shed innocent blood in this place, or walk after other mighty ones to your own evil, then I shall let you dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. See, you are trusting in false words which do not profit, stealing, murdering, and committing adultery, and swearing falsely, and burning incense to Baal, and walking after other mighty ones you have not known. And you came and stood before me in this house which is called by my name, and said, We have been delivered in order to do all these abominations. Has this house which is called by my name become a den of robbers in your eyes? Look, even I myself have seen it, declares Yahuwah. But go now to my place at Shiloh, where I set my name at the first, and see what I did to it because of the evil of my people Israel. And now, because you have done all these works, declares Yahuwah, and I spoke to you, rising up early and speaking, but you did not hear, and I called you, but you did not answer, I shall also do this to this house, which is called by my name, in which you trust, and to this place which I gave to you and your fathers, as I did to Shiloh. And I shall cast you out of my presence, as I have cast out all your brothers, all the seed of Ephraim. And you do not pray for this people, nor lift up a cry or prayer for them, nor make intercession to me, for I do not hear you. Do you not see what they are doing in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children are gathering wood, the fathers are lighting the fire, and the women are kneading their dough to make cakes for the sovereigns of the heavens, and to pour out drink offerings to other mighty ones to provoke me. Is it me they are provoking, declares Yahweh? Is it not themselves, unto the shame of their own faces? Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, see, my displeasure and my wrath is poured out on this place, O man and on beast, on man and on beast, and on the trees of the field, and on the fruits of the ground, and it shall burn and not be quenched. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, add your sending offerings to your slaughterings, and eat meat. For I did not speak to your fathers, or command them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Mitzrayim, about matters of sending offerings or slaughterings. But this word I did command them, saying, obey my voice, and I shall be your Elohim, and you be my people. But they did not obey or incline their ears, but walked in the counsels and the stubbornness of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward. From the day that your fathers came out of the land of Mitzrayim until this day, I have even sent to you all my servants the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. But they did not obey me or incline their ear, but stiffened their neck. They did evil more than their fathers. And you shall speak all these words to them, though they do not listen to you, and you shall also call to them, though they do not answer you. But you shall say to them, this is a nation that did not obey the voice of Yahweh their Elohim, nor did they accept instruction. Truth has perished and has been cut off from their youth. Cut off your hair and throw it away, and take up a lamentation of the bare heights, for Yahweh has rejected the forsaken the generation of his wrath. Has rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath. For the children of Judah have done what is evil in my eyes, declares Yahweh. They have set their abominations in the house which is called by my name, to defile it, and they have built the high places of Topheth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I did not command, nor did it come into my heart. Therefore see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when it shall no longer be called Topheth, or the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. For they shall bury in Topheth until no room is left, and the corpses of this people shall be food for the birds of the heavens and for the beasts of the earth, and with none to frighten them away. And in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem I shall make to cease the voice of rejoicing and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, for the land shall become a waste. At that time, declares Yahweh, they shall bring the bones of the sovereigns of Judah, and the bones of its heads, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their burial sites. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon and all the hosts of the heavens, which they have loved, and which they have served, and after which they have walked, which they have sought, and to which they have bowed themselves. They shall not be gathered nor buried. They shall be for dung on the face of the earth. and death shall be preferred to life, by all the rest of those who remain of this evil people, who remain in all the places where I have driven them, declares Yahweh of hosts. And you shall say to them, Thus says Yahweh, would they fall and not rise? Does one turn away and not return? Why then has this people, Jerusalem, turned away in a continual backsliding? They are strengthened in deceit. They refuse to turn back. I have listened and heard. They do not speak right. No man has repented of his evil, saying, What have I done? They all turn to their own course, like a horse rushing into battle. Even a stork in the heavens knows her appointed times, and a turtle dove, and a swallow, and a thrush guard the time of their coming. But my people do not know the right ruling of Yahweh. How do you say, We are wise, and the Torah of Yahweh is with us? But look, the false pen of the scribe has worked falsehood. That's the wise shall be put to shame. They shall be broken down and caught. See, they have rejected the word of Yahweh, so what wisdom do they have? Therefore I give their wives to others, and their fields to possessing ones. For from the least even to the greatest, they are all greedy for grain. From the prophet to the priest, all act falsely. And they healed the branch of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, Shalom, Shalom, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they had done abomination? No, they were not at all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. So they shall fall among those who fall. They shall stumble in the time of their visitation, said Yahweh. I shall snatch them away, declares Yahweh. There are no grapes on the vine, nor figs on the trees, and the leaf has faded, and what I gave them shall pass away from them. Why are we sitting still? Gather yourselves, and let us go into the walled cities, and let us be silent there. For Yahweh, our Elohim, has let us perish, and given us poisoned water to drink, because we have sinned against Yahweh. We looked for peace, but there was no good, and for a time of healing, but see, fear. The snorting of his horse was heard from Dan, and all the land shook at the sound of the neighing of his strong ones. They came and devoured the land, and all that fills it, the city and those who dwell in it. For look, I am sending among you serpents, adders, which have no enchanter, and they shall bite you, declares Yahweh. When in grief I would seek comfort, my heart is sick within me. Observe the cry of the daughter of my people from a distant land. Is Yahweh not in Sion? Is her sovereign not in her? Why have they provoked me with their carved images and with foreign worthlessness? The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we have not been saved. For the breach of the daughter of my people I have been broken. I have grown sad. Astonishment has taken hold of me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no healer there? Why was the healing of the daughter of my people not come? Why has the healing of the daughter of my people not come? Oh, that my head were waters, and my eyes a fountain of tears, and I would weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place for wayfaring men, and I would leave my people and go from them. For they are all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men. And they bend their tongue like a bow. Falsehood and not truth prevails on the earth. Falsehood and not truth prevails on the earth. For they proceed from evil to evil, and they have not known me, declares Yahweh. Let everyone beware of his neighbor, and not trust any brother, for every brother catches by the heel, and every neighbor walks with slanderers. And everyone deceives his neighbor, and no one speaks the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak falsehood, and have wearied themselves to crook. You live in the midst of deceit. Through deceit they have refused to know me, declares Yahweh. Therefore thus said Yahweh of hosts, See, I shall refine them, and shall try them. For what shall I do because of the daughter of my people? Their tongue is a slaying arrow. It speaks deceit, speaks peaceably to his neighbor with his mouth, but in his heart he sets his ambush. Would I not punish them for this, declares Yahweh? Would I not avenge my being on such a nation as this? I shall take up a weeping and wailing for the mountains, and for the pastures of the wilderness lamentation, because they have been burned up without any passing over, nor has the voice of the cattle been heard. Both the birds of the heavens and the beasts have fled. They are gone, they have gone. And I shall make Jerusalem a heap of ruins, a habitation for jackals, and the cities of Judah I shall make a waste, without an inhabitant. Who is the wise man that he understands this? And to whom has the mouth of Yahweh spoken, that he declares it? Why has the land perished? Has it not burned up like a wilderness, with none passing through? And Yahweh says, Because they have forsaken my Torah, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, nor walked according to it, but they have walked according to the stubbornness of their own heart, and after the Baals, which their fathers had taught them. Therefore thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, See, I am making this people eat wormwood, and I shall make them drink poisoned water, and I shall scatter them among the nations, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I shall send a sword after them until I have consumed them. Verse 15, there's a Torah for that. I don't see a footnote for it, but come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll find it. Who knows? Thus said Yahweh of hosts, Discern, and call for the mourning women, that they come, and send for the wise women, that they come, and let them hasten, and take up a wailing for us, and let our eyes run with tears, and our eyelids gush with water. For a voice of wailing is heard from Sion, how we are ravaged. We are greatly ashamed, because we have forsaken the land, because we have been thrown out of our dwelling places. But hear the word of Yahweh, O women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and each one his neighbor a lamentation. For death has come through our windows, has entered our palaces, cutting off the children from the streets, and the young men from the squares. Speak, thus declares Yahweh. The corpses of men shall fall as dung on the face of the field, like cuttings after the reaper, with none to gather them. Thus said Yahweh, Let not the wise boast in his wisdom, let not the mighty boast in his might, nor let the rich boast in his riches. But let him who boast boast of this, that he understands and knows me, that I am Yahweh, doing loving commitment, right ruling, and righteousness in the earth. And in these I delight, declares Yahweh. See, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall punish all circumcised with the uncircumcised. There will clearly be, I'm pretty sure, he's made reference to it, I'm pretty sure. But there's going to be a great judgment day. There's going to be a great big gathering of all of us, when we're all going to get judged by him, I suppose. Yeah, probably, I think Jesus maybe even. Who knows? Mitzrayim and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab and all those trimmed on the edges who dwell in the wilderness, for all the nations are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart. Hear the word which Yahweh speaks to you, O house of Israel. Thus said Yahweh, do not lean the way of the nations, and do not be awed by the signs of the heavens, for the nations are awed by them. For the laws of these people are worthless. For one cuts a tree from the forest, work for the hands of a craftsman with a cutting tool. They beautify it with silver and gold. They strengthen it with nails and hammers, so it does not topple. They are like a rounded post, and they do not speak. They have to be carried because they do not walk. Do not be afraid of them, for they do no evil, nor is it in them to do any good. There is none like you, O Yahweh. You are great, and great is your name in might. Who would not fear you, O sovereign of the nations? For this is your due. For among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their reigns, there is none like you. They are both brutish and foolish, an instruction of worthlessness in the tree. Silver is beaten into plates. It is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz, the work of the craftsman and of the hands of the smith, draped in blue and purple. All of them are in the work of skilled ones, but Yahweh is truly Elohim. He is the living Elohim and the everlasting sovereign. At his wrath the earth shakes, and nations are unable to stand his displeasure. Say to them this, the Allah that did not make the heavens and the earth shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom, and has stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he makes his voice heard, there is a roaring of waters in the heavens, and he makes vapors rise from the ends of the earth. The lightnings for rain he has made, and brings wind from his treasuries. Everyone is brutish in knowledge. Every smith is put to shame by his idol. For his molded image is falsehood, and there is no spirit in them. They are worthless, a work of mockery. In the time of their punishment, they perish. The portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the maker of all, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Gather up your bundle from the ground, you who live under siege. For thus said Yahweh, see, at this time I am hurling out the inhabitants of the land, and shall distress them, so that they feel it. Woe to me for my breaking. My wound is grievous, but I say, this is my sickness, and I bear it. My tent has been ravaged, and all my cords have been broken. My children have gone from me, and they are no more. There is no one to pitch my tent any more. Yep, I read that right. There is no one to pitch my tent anymore, or to set up my curtains. For the shepherds have become brutish, and they have not sought Yahweh. Therefore they did not understand, and all the flock scattered. That's some imagery there. Shepherds are right. I mean, we're in Jeremiah. He just told us, I think, in the last one. He'll raise up shepherds after his own people. For the shepherds have become brutish, and they have not sought Yahweh. Therefore they did not understand, and all their flocks scattered. What does he say? C2:8. It gives a bunch of references. But I would say that's could be a pretty close parallel. A lot of people are dissatisfied with what they see in the church at this point in time. Who knows? See, it has come the voice of a report and a great shaking out of the land of the north, to make the cities of Judah a waste, a habitation of jackals of Yahweh. A waste, a habitation of jackals. O Yahweh, I know the way of man is not in himself. It is not for the man who walks to direct his own steps. It is not for man who walks to direct his own steps. O Yahuwah, chastise me, but with right ruling, not in your displeasure, lest you bring me to naught. Pour out your wrath on the nations who do not know you, and on the tribes who do not call on your name. For they have eaten up Jacob, devoured him, consumed him, and laid waste his home. How do you say we are wise, and the Torah of Yahuwah is with us? But look, the false pen of the scribe has worked falsehood. I can't speak definitively on this, so if anybody comes across this and can correct me, feel free. My understanding, we think, well, let me not put words in your mouth. I thought, back in the day, that the Torah was basically Genesis through Deuteronomy. What I thought the Jews' Torah was. There it is. What I thought the Jews' Torah was all of this, right? I thought they had all this. And then I found out that the Torah is just this. And now my understanding of, I just messed us all up, but that's okay. Check that out, guys, because all the time. But my current understanding, if you were to ask a Jewish person, someone who practicing Jew, what the Torah was, my understanding is it's not only is it the Old Testament, it's also I don't want to just say words to say words, so forgive me for so the Torah is the teaching, Nabim is the prophets, and the Ketubim is the writings. So does it break this down? Yeah, it does, right? Torah, prophets, Nabim, Ketubim, right, is the first writings. But there's another word that they say. I forget what it's called. But basically I don't know if it's an addition, like if it's like, all right, you're done with that. Now you're in the New Testament. Like you're done with that. Now you're into this piece of their book, of their Torah. I don't know fully, but it has a lot of rabbi writings in it, their interpretations of the Old Testament, the Torah, in whole, right? The Ketubim and the Nabim and the Torah, the whole thing. And that they ride heavily on what the rabbis say, rather than what God says, so to speak. I'm probably being very brutish about this, so please forgive me and do your own research, but that's my understanding at this point in time. But as always, may Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh will make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahweh will lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Shalom, shalom.